I am really glad that you're here. Because the fact you're here shows that you're on a frequency, you're on a certain wave. There's an emergence happening in you right now, a recognition that you've already arrived. There's nowhere to get to. There's nothing to heal, there's nothing to fix, there's nothing to overcome. At the deepest nature of who you are, there's a recognition that is starting to come through, even if you don't fully trust it yet, even if it's not embodied yet. That you are it, that you are whole, that you are perfect, that you are worthy, that you are complete. And I'm not just talking about this as some spiritual concept, because you're not new to this path. You've probably been in the spiritual world for a while. You've heard the texts, you've read some of the scriptures. You've heard people like Eckhart Tolle talk about presence and consciousness, and you understand conceptually this idea of being one with everything. And yet you've still been on this loop for a long time of having that as a concept, but not as an embodied truth, not as something that you live from day to day. You still get caught in the hustling and the healing and the motivation and the self-help cycle of trying to work on yourself and fix yourself. And you're doing that not from the part of you, the deep truth within you that knows that you're whole, infinite and worthy and complete. You do that from the small separate self, the illusory self, the wounded self, the self that you believe that you are, the identity that thinks that it's broken. And the truth is starting to land in you in a deeper way. Even if you don't fully feel that or believe it yet, the fact you're seeing this video is proof that you're on this frequency or on this wavelength. So what I'm going to share with you in this video today is what comes next, because my last video, if you've not seen it yet, go and check it out. I tell you the truth that you've already arrived. There's nowhere to get to. The time of working on yourself and healing and striving to be someone different is over. What matters now is an absolute devotion to embodying the truth that you are. You are whole, you are infinite, you are worthy, you are complete, you are it. And the next step from there, which is what I'm going to talk to you about here, is then what? Then what? Because what you're undoing is the lie that you need to do something in order to be enough, in order to be safe, in order to be worthy. When that's undone, you create space to create from wholeness, create from the truth, right? You're moving from action coming as compensation or proving or performance into creation, coming as an expression of your soul, an expression of who you are. And I am 100% of the belief that we didn't just come here to be enlightened monks sitting on a mountaintop. Some did, and that's their path. Great. You're watching this video, it's probably not you. The people that come into my space, the people that I call in, are the leaders, the creators, the high achievers. The people that feel that burning passion to build something, to create something, to serve in some way. And what we're moving from is the version of you that does that as a form of compensation or proof or performance into the version of you that lives from that place as truth. The artist who creates art because it's who she is. I call this singing the song of your soul. Your soul has something that it's here to sing. Could literally be a song. Very often it's not. A lot of the people I work with create successful businesses, or they're really devoted to creating a family and a relationship, and they want to do this in the most conscious, beautiful, loving way. Your song is your essence. It's who you are. It's your blueprint. That's your purpose. That's your mission. And the 3 stages that I guide people through I call it burn, be, build. Burn, because at first you've got to burn the false self. You've got to burn the illusion. You've got to burn the idea of who you thought you were. Sometimes that's fiery, sometimes that feels like death, sometimes that's like a dark night of the soul. This is the rite of passage. Other times it's actually not. Other times this is actually very soft and easeful, right? If you've been in this kind of like working on myself and like everything feels like it needs to be a struggle and I'm trying to like basically suffer to be worthy of what I want, actually the rite of passage, the burn, can be very liberating, can be very soft, can be very loving and gentle. But you've got to burn it. You've got to burn the illusion. And in that fire, you be reborn. You become. But you don't actually become, because becoming sounds like there's somewhere to get to. It's not that. It's just arriving at where you already are. Recognizing that the identity that you want to step into, the identity that your next evolution called you to be, is just another expression of the truth of what you already are. You're not actually going somewhere else. You are already it. And as that itness, you're choosing the next form that you express yourself through. Right? This is the be. And if you look at the comments, there was a lovely comment on my last video. I can't remember your name, but there's a beautiful lady who was talking about like, yeah, I'm in this state now of like, I'm just being and I'm surrendering and I'm doing less and I'm taking time off. And that is incredible, beautiful. That's a very powerful healing phase to go through. Especially if you've been in this cycle of like trying to do, right? But I believe that we're not meant to stay there. Or not that we're not meant to, but no, I'm going to say we're not meant to. In the sense that you came here to create. There's a part of you that wants to build something. And so this is where we kind of come a little bit full circle, because if you think of like this old scale you might have heard of, we move from the doer into the beer, from doing to being. But we need to complete that cycle again, because if you've just been like hustling and healing and doing all this stuff, but not actually arriving at the truth of who you are, that you are whole, then you need to come into that arrival. But then there's a full circle that happens. You come back to the action again, but from a new place. There's that famous adage, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. In all of the hero's journey stories, all of it talks about there is this path that takes the hero away from their old life on the great adventure. You know, they go to heaven, they discover truth, whatever it is. And at some point, the hero has to come back and bring the gifts that the hero learned on their journey back into the world that they lived in before. And this is actually the chapter that many of us are coming into now. Especially if you've been on this path for like a few years. There's been a lot of like ascension talk and going to God and surrender and feeling good feelings and all of these things, and beautiful. But now we need to come back to earth. Now we need to build. We need to chop wood and carry water again. Because it's what we came here to do. We want to do it, right? We are creators. So I'm really glad you found this, because it shows you're on this frequency where you are ready to begin to create something really true, not from a place of performance or compensation or proving, but from embodied, this is who I am, this is what I choose to build, this is who I choose to be. That might look like scaling your business to 6 or 7 figures, but doing it from a really deeply soul-aligned place, where you're excited to show up and build, where what you build serves people and it excites you and it's amazing, and you also do it with plenty of space and freedom. It might look like you have a relationship in your life that you really want to create more polarity, more juice, more joy, more chemistry, but in a beautiful, beautiful way that elevates you and brings more energy and light and presence to everyone in your life. Perhaps you're about to become a mother or a father, or you are a mother or a father, and you want to really raise your kids in a most beautiful, conscious, loving way. It doesn't matter. Because the blueprint for doing what you want to do the way that you're called to do it exists inside you. That's the truth. That's what I'm getting at here. Anyone who is trying to sell you strategy as if that is the answer is disconnecting you from the power that you are. Strategy is great. It's important. We need it. It's beautiful. Of course, if you want to grow your business to 7 figures, you need strategy. You need systems. You need structure. But here's the truth. Every strategy works. Every strategy works. What matters is who is the one that is taking that strategy. That's where we get stuck. Because if you go to the strategy, but you're doing it from the old small self that believes that it's broken, the strategy will just become another mechanism to reinforce the wound and the lie. When you arrive at the truth, that you're whole, that there's nowhere to get to, that this is it, this is the moment. And sometimes that can feel quite boring, by the way. Sometimes that can just feel like, oh, okay, this is just ordinary. It's not all fireworks and enlightenment and angels. When you come to that place, you get to create from a deeper state, from a deeper realization. So what do you want to build? What do you want to create? What wants to come through you? What is the song of your soul? If you are coming to this place of finding peace, finding spiritual truth, and it's starting to land, the next step is to then ask, not in a way that's rushed, but in a way that's exciting, in a way that's like, okay, yeah, what do I want? Right? It's like, yeah, desires are not the problem. Wanting's not the problem. It was who you thought you were in relationship to those, but now you're recognizing something deeper. And if you're earlier in the journey and you're still in the striving, the healing, the hustling, the grinding, the looping, that's also great. You're ready to arrive into who you are now. So I'd love to know what you got from this video in the comments, especially if there's something in you that you want to create and build, because that's the space that I'm curating here. If you're new here, my name is Tobias. I'm a guide and initiator. I help leaders, creators, entrepreneurs, the builders of the new earth actually step into who they're here to be so that they can create what they're here to create from a place of truth, from a place of embodiment, from a place of real power. Not compensation, not proof, not performance. Just authentic. This is who I am. This is what I choose to create. Because I believe that we're going to build a new world. I believe we are doing it. And I call in the crazy ones who feel that too. And the ones who are not just talking about it, not just using love and light language to bypass, but are really willing and ready to go all in on who they are called to be, who they already are deep down, and what they're here to build. So if that sounds like you, welcome. Please hit the follow or the subscribe button. It's great to have you here. Check out my other videos if this resonates with you. And you can book a free session with me called The Crossing. The Crossing is the transition point, the threshold moment for you to move from the version of you that was looping, the old patterns, performing, healing, hustling, grinding, never really arriving, never really stepping fully into their gifts, and the version of you that you now are ready to become, that you're ready to step into, that you're ready to be. The one who creates from presence, the one who manifests abundance, but not from a place of lack, just natural, easeful, this is who I am. Everything that you desire is yours. And I want to help you create it by first arriving as the one for whom it's destiny. And the crossing is a moment. a moment and a conversation where you can meet that. So you can book it via the link below. I'll see you in the next video. Get out of here. Go enjoy yourself.